Hey everyone, Ginger here. I wanted to bring you a clip streamed by Baumi as he was casting the pre-release Chroma tournament. I was able to bring Magnarchitect, a hero which is traditionally known for their aggressive playstyle, but I was able to bring them as a control deck that milled the opponent. It was my anti-control control deck. I really enjoy this stream. I enjoy this clip because Baumi doesn't really know what I'm doing, and when he figures this out, his reaction is perfect. So take a look, and I'll see you on the next video.
Hex Painter and Lucky Draws, so that was an interesting match for sure.
You know what we haven't seen at all? There's been no Venora. How is there no Venora?
I remember people just abusing Venora all the time, but now they're just hyped about Hema. I haven't seen Venora in a long time though.
People are just so excited about Hema. I thought of Venora round one. Alright. I'm just a bit surprised that people aren't playing Venora. I think she's pretty strong. But anyway. So this right here is kind of like one of the big reasons why you would want to put emphasis on blue. Mana drone. Add 1 insight to your mana pool at the end of turn. It just ramps you. This card is great for like getting you like to a high amount of mana in the early game. However, it's actually kind of a little bit awkward at times, because then you are stuck with these mana drones on the board. And they just take up space when you don't need the mana anymore. And they can't like go and just kill themselves because they don't have any attack. By the way, this right here was the power of Minerva. Right? Like 1 damage return when she gets attacked doesn't sound like a lot. And honestly speaking, it isn't that much. But it is enough to actually like really fight back against these kind of early game aggressive decks, and also to just kind of like spread damage. Again, that's kind of a theme of her. She's happy to just kind of like deal a bit of damage here and deal a bit of damage there, and then just kind of get the pickoffs when she can. Also, Ebbing Wishwander, that's kind of exciting. So it's got 2 abilities, deal 1 damage to any target, I take 1 damage, and then another ability where you can make this bigger. So it costs 2x neutral mana, and then it gains +X+X. So that means if you spend 2 mana, it gets +1/+1. If you spend 4, it gets +2/+2, and so on. So yeah. Oh, there we go.
So I have an issue with mana drones and how people play them is that when they come out, and sure, if you draw 2 mana drones during mulligan, you can put them on the board the first turn, but then you lose the 2 slots in your hand, so you need to compensate for mana drones with some sort of draw. And with how the game is losing more and more draw effects, you really need to watch out for not being able to play anything with those mana drones just because your hand is empty.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky. Actually, interesting thing right here. Look at this. There is Rest Now being played by Minerva. This is a card that costs 1 Valor and 1 Devotion. Minerva doesn't have Valor. She doesn't have red mana. She can't play this. My best guess here would be that she's playing this so she can then she can probably use a Bag of Crowns with like a Benefactor, or just a Bag of Crowns you can get at the start of the game for free, to play the Rest Now and kind of like act as this kind of as graveyard hazing that way.
There is another mana fixing card. Well, Benefactor Benefactor would work. The Son of Dancing is another one that would fix your mana.
That's true, yeah, that would be another way to do it. I mean, she is playing purple.
Yeah, and blue, so we will see which one comes out first, or which one is in the deck.
Is this enough for Blooming Blackly? This is enough for Blooming Blackly. Alright, probably gonna just throw one of these down, yeah. None of those things, I mean, you might as well use it, right? It just puts a pretty strong body on the board, and then you can start fighting back much more aggressively. this Magnarchitect deck seems to be slowing down a bit. Now, against Magnarchitect, plating isn't as good. It's always something that's important to keep in mind. But you've got this ability. The first time each turn a golem enters your ashes, deal 1 damage to your opponent. This is this eats through plating very quickly. Right? It just eats through the plating like it's nothing. So Blooming Blackly, while it's still powerful, it's not quite as good as some against Magnarchitect as it is against some of the other heroes we've seen. Yeah, really
I think
surprised.
that's just not enough. We see 2 more Blooming Blackly, and that's just too much for Magnarchitect to punch through. In last game, we saw Crack Warden at the very end. So there is a chance, there is a potential at the very end for the Magnarchitect to combine the big bot with Crack Warden and deal some massive damage or some massive disturbance with the discard that it does. But we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. One of the things as well is that the Magnarchitect isn't actually doing anything. Right? Like, this is probably why this game looks kind of one-sided. But what is the Magnarchitect actually doing? It feels like it's this kind of defensive Magnarchitect deck. Not offensive at all, because there's just a few bots coming down, spamming the primary a lot. But other than that, I mean, there's no big plays. There are no markings being placed. I don't know. Maybe, like, I feel like if I was gonna play like a more controlling Magnarchitect deck, I might want to put emphasis on something like the Foundry. I don't know. Hey, Shroom Ragoon, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. Appreciate it.
I feel that this is late game Magnarchitect built around the ultimate.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much it can do against the hero we are spectating. Who is playing Minerva, by the way?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Monster Kai.
Oh, I see. All right.
Yeah. Oh, it's a mill deck. Oh, that changes everything.
How far are we into mill? 20. That's not very far.
Yeah, but there is 9 just coming. Right? Because the Crack Warden is already in the ashes. So that's just a matter of using the ultimate. So it's actually only like 11 cards to go. So what we just saw was this right here. Empty Doorway. Choose one. Discard the top 6 cards of target hero's deck, or choose a card from your sideboard and add it to your hand. We saw the first effect, which is just mill a bunch of stuff, right? This is actually a mill deck. That's what's happening. I was wondering, like, what's the strategy? That is one of the things that can definitely win against this kind of defensive, slow, Blooming Blackly style. That is super, super, super cool.
Yes, the fatigue damage will eat through that plating very fast. I wonder if the Magnarchitect is also playing the card that puts copies of the cards into your hand so that they can copy the Empty Doorway and just discard with a bunch of spells instead of waiting for the big bot to come out with Craig Warden. Although we probably will see Craig Warden anyway, just because there will be enough mana even before we go into Act 3 to just place the Craig Warden into the story, and Minerva probably not gonna have
Magnarchitect can't play Craig Warden.
Is there not enough mana?
But Craig Warden requires 5 Valor and 4 Insight. Magnarchitect only has 4 Valor. She can't play it.
Unless there is a mana fix, but that's hard to pull off. I see.
There are definitely some mana fixing cards that she can use, but she does have to use those. Oh, Open Arms. That's funny. Oh no! Oh my god, are you gonna do it? How big brain are you? Did you take it? Yes! Oh my god! Okay, open arms. Choose a card from the story or either hero's ashes. Place it on top of your deck. What the Magnarchitect is trying to do is take the Crag Warden out of the ashes with the ultimate to like merge a big board with the Crag Warden effect. But the Minerva just stole the Crag Warden and placed it on her deck, making it so that now that can't be done anymore unless a new Crag Warden is placed in the ashes. Now, I don't know how many Crag Wardens are in this deck. That's like a big question here. Right?
It is such a big disable though.
That is a big deal. That's I mean, like, this is generally nice because it just kind of puts cards back into your deck. Like, in this particular matchup, all you need to do, like, all you're looking to do is just kind of, you know, like, reduce that. But this is still looking pretty bad, honestly. Like, Magnarchitect can just kind of keep playing bots, which will keep, you know, even if they get killed, they will still deal a bit of damage. And eventually she will find another empty doorway. And there is nothing in the Minerva's hand that does anything. Right? There is nothing here that will kill anything. Oh, well, sorry, that will deal any damage. It's all defense again. And if all you have is defense, then against an opponent who is happy to just wait, well you can guess what's going to happen there. So this is what the Minerva put on top of her deck with the second open arms, right? Just put a Blooming Blackly back on top. Okay then.
So this hand definitely will deal with the big board coming out, but in terms of if the Magnarchitect merges the big board and tries, I don't think they are running Tireless Automaton unless I missed it. So they might not have a bolt on the big board to be able to use their Crag Warden discard immediately.
Yeah, that's an interesting question whether or not they have that automaton. I feel like if I was playing, like if I was going to go into this tournament with like a Magnarchitect discard mill deck, I would put at least one Tireless Automaton into my sideboard, you know?
Yes, and there are plenty other columns which have bolt as well. There is
Yeah.
the I forget the names.
Just a bolt bot.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh, you could. Oh, never mind. You can just do that. I forgot about that.
there's already a bolt bot in the ashes. That's not a
There's
problem.
Plenty. Yeah, that's true.
Like, so there's gonna probably only be one attack, but there will be one attack with the Crag Warden. But that's all you're looking for here, right? This deck is already a 10. That's all you need. Okay, so this is one of the cards that Minerva's actually waiting for. Like, funnily. It that waits. So this is a card that's incredibly powerful in the late game. It says, if at the end of your turn at least one of my abilities isn't on cooldown, I double both their damage and healing. And there's two abilities, one that deals 1 damage to all opposing pages and one ability that restores 1 health to all allied pages. Now, this is where I need to explain kind of how the pages work a little bit. You saw right there that this did a lot of damage to the opponent. That's because when you deal damage to an opposing page, you actually deal damage to the hero, right? So if you deal damage to a page and the page is empty, then that damage goes to the hero instead. If you deal damage to a page and there's something inside of it, then you deal damage to the thing that is in the page. But if it's empty, it goes to the hero. And that's where this It That Waits comes in. Because this can just come down and it's just happy to wait. And this will kill the Magnarchitect in 2 turns. But it gets voided. So...
Yes, I was about to say we saw last game that they're running the void for the Eat That Waits, and they knew that Eat That Waits will come out in the late game, so I bet they have been holding on to that void card for the whole game.
Very good. I mean, this is just... I know it's a slower game, but I think this is so cool. This is one of the things I love about card games. Because what I think is happening here is that Pine X Ginger saw there is going to be a lot of this kind of like slower pace controlling stuff, right? Like, I saw that they were testing a lot, right? That they were playtesting a lot. And Or like that they were just kind of like preparing for the tournament. And I would guess that in their preparing for the tournament, they came to the realization this is going to just be a slower meta game. So I'm going to play mill. I'm going to play mill. And with my milling, you will not be able to just sit there and do nothing. Because if you do, I still win. Right? You might be able to just defend against everything I throw against you. But that's fine, because I'm just not going to throw anything against you. I think that's so clever. I love that. That is super cool. I'm very excited to see it. All right, and you can see here, I don't know if that's just my perception of it, but I'm feeling like a little bit of desperation from this Minerva. I'm just not sure if she's got it. Now, what she might start doing, and this is probably what she should start doing, is just start and try to go for a kill here. That is possible, right? Use the primary, ping the hero for 1, use Dimensional Whiplash, ping the hero for another 4, and then just use doubles just a small favor. That's another 10 damage. And if you just keep using the primary, that adds up. There's only 18 damage that needs to be done at this stage. So, unless the Magnarchitect has some sort of healing. Oh yeah, I guess I'm not the only one that sees this. Right? Like, just a small favor does... So this is a card that gives you 1 of 4 options. And those options are disarm all opposing companions, return target permanents to its controller's hand, deal 3 damage to all opposing companions, or deal 5 damage to any target. And that last one, that is what we care about. Deal 5 damage to any target. It allows the Minerva to just kind of start threatening a kill. And there's only 13 life left. I mean, like, honestly, this wins in 3 turns unless there's some healing.
I wonder if Minerva still has the 1000 shiny teeth in the deck. If they have, or if they have put it in the sideboard, or if it has been milled. So the chance for the Magnarchitect to survive here is that whether or not they have milled enough damaging spells from Minerva. But on the other side, Magnarchitect doesn't have any healing, as you pointed out, so there is no chance to stand against the slow death from the primary.
Is there any healing the Magnarchitect could play? I guess there's no Forsaken. How many ambition mana does Forsaken Armor cost? It's 2 or 3? I think it's 2, right? Yeah, I gotta have a quick look at this. I gotta have a quick look at how much ambition mana this guy costs.
So it costs 3 neutral to ambition.
Ah, okay. So in theory, Pine Exchanger could play it. But considering that the 2 ambition are all the way at the end of the mana pool, I highly doubt that's in the deck. And Steward of Man, maybe? I mean, Steward of Man would be the best case scenario, I think, at this stage. Steward of Man is a companion that prevents damage from abilities and spells. So it would be pretty much ideal in terms of like keeping yourself alive against this right now. Oh, that is good. That is good. I mean, this milling needs to really, really get done soon. Alright, only 2 cards left in the deck. This is actually going to be kind of tight. Is there another Crack Warden in here? I love that so much. I think that was so clever. Using the open arms to get the Crack Warden. Oh my god! Yes! You did it! Okay. Yeah, the GG immediately. Oh man. Let's go. So I need to go into the deck build and explain that one really quick. But what we saw was Monomaniac. Dawn, discard your hand and then draw 4 cards. If you control a golem, your opponent does the same. That, you know what? Just waiting until the last moment, until the perfect moment. Place the Monomaniac, yeets all of the cards away.